Hey, I'm MIDJA. Now, I've been reminded recently of a leadership lesson that I learned fairly early in my career. And when I started as an article clerk in a law firm, my main role was to interview new clients. So I'd see the new clients, I would take a statement, explain to them the legal process. And I remember in that first year, it was eye-opening. And I met lots of different people with very different backgrounds to myself, very different upbringings and values and beliefs. And I remember this one particular morning, and I had seen a woman, a female client that morning, about her case. And she was probably the age that I am now, so probably in her 40s. I was in my 20s. And after I conducted the interview, it was morning tea time, so I walked into the tea room. And I hadn't been at the firm very long, and so my main aim was to fit in and to be liked and to people to think I was funny, to be entertaining. And so I go into the tea room and I start talking about this client in not a very nice way. I was being just nasty and disrespectful, and just saying things about her that I shouldn't have been saying. And as I'm talking about her, I feel this hand come on my shoulder. And I turn my head, and there is one of the partners. And he says to me, "MIDJA, I want you to always imagine that every time you are talking about a client, that the client is standing right where I'm standing now, right beside you. You need to imagine that when you talk about your client, that they can hear every word you are saying." And I was like, oh my goodness, I was so embarrassed. I turned bright red, but it was a lesson that I needed to learn. And Stephen Covey, in his book, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, he talks about this concept of being loyal to the absent. And I think that loyalty is a really important leadership trait, because it's not just about being loyal to our clients, but to our people, our team members, to our family, to our friends, to our kids. Because if we're not loyal, particularly to those who are absent, if we talk about people in ways that we wouldn't want them to hear, then what does it say to the people that we're talking to the people in front of us? It tells them that when their back is turned, we might just say the same kind of stuff about them. It's also the case that what we say might get back to those other people that we're talking about. And we all know Chinese whispers in the office. So by the time it gets back to the person, it's 10 times worse. And try explaining that in a leadership position and what it does to your brand and your reputation. And it just gets people second guessing themselves and you, and it creates fear, just a culture of fear where people just don't know where they stand. Not the kind of culture you want to produce an effective, high-performing team. But as a leader, if you can show loyalty to the present and to the absent, what you do is you create security in your team, in your organization. You really build a connection where you can have strong, real, authentic relationships with people. People know where they stand. You will gain respect as a leader, and you will also gain a sense of pride for doing the right thing, by having a clear conscience. And all of these things, of course, lead to trust. Being a leader that people trust, and therefore being a leader that can influence others. Because as a leader, everything you say and everything you do is being closely scrutinized. You set the unwritten ground rules of your team and your organization. So when you give loyalty as a leader, you get it back. And you create a culture of loyalty and security and connection. I'm MIDJA. Mwah. Bye guys.